Hi friends, we're back with another book recommendation. So today's book is called Where We Come From by Diane Wilson, Sun Young Shin, Shannon Gibney, and John Coy. So there's the cover. So this is just a beautiful story. There's so much in it, and I do not even have enough time to share about this. So there's 4 authors, right? So the 4 authors share about their family history and where they come from. So Diane Wilson is a Native author. So she has many great books, A Beloved Child, Dakota Way of Life. So she is enrolled on the Rosebud Reservation. Sun Young Shin, she was born in Korea, and she's author of a bilingual picture book called Cooper's Lesson. Shannon Gibney, she's also award-winning author of books of all kinds, and she lives in Minneapolis. And John Coy is the author of numerous books. He lives in Minneapolis, and is illustrated by Dion MBD. So he's an Indonesian illustrator. So really just a great multicultural book. So let's dig in with this. So there's only one thing that I really I would disagree with. So they're saying that life started with evolution, and I believe that life started with creation and our great creator. But other than that, it's a great book. So in time, we became humans who spread out around the world. We come from place, language, and spirit, and each of us comes from a story. So here's the bison, the Tatanka. So I come from Korea, green mountains, black rocks, cold springs, wet moss, and giant frogs, and pine trees winding around shadows. Just beautiful. So then they grew up with this by a city called Ann Arbor, right? And the one lady is from Minneapolis, which I did not know this, a combination of Dakota and Greek words, waterfall city on the great river of Mississippi. So they're a combination of words, Minneapolis. And it goes into some great native stories and native legends of the Dakota, and about in Korea that they would wash rice and spin silk and have all their special folk tales. It talks about Ireland and Scotland and going around the fire and all the special songs. So wonderful, wonderful book. And it also talks about many things, difficult things like slavery, and on the indigenous side, the boarding schools. So white people called my ancestors slaves, dragging us to this country by force. So it goes even back to slavery times. I come from a war in 1862. That forced us from our homeland. So, right, the Trail of Tears and many forceful events that the government took our indigenous people from their lands and placed them on other lands. And also, I come from grandparents. Forbidden to speak their language, ancestors forced to learn English at boarding schools. So I'm glad that there are more and more books and more resources that are talking about things in residential schools that happen to many tribes, United States, Canada, Australia, and many indigenous peoples, not just in the United States. So, and I also talked about after slavery that the African American people are black folks. They moved up north, right? And they journeyed working through factories and building a new life. So just beautiful, beautiful illustrations. And really a great book that talks about a lot of different things, and that we're really all very the same, very much the same. And it has a great glossary in the back, so about facts about the Dakota and the different ways to pronounce the tribal words in Korea, and different things that you can research. And so it really comes down to, where do you come from? So it's a question that Americans get asked a lot, especially, you know, if they're from different cultures. So great book. So this was Where We Come From. It's by 4 authors talking about their experiences, their history, and how really we're all together. So Diane Wilson, Sun Yung Shin, and Shannon Gibney, and John Coy. So check that one out. Take care and happy reading.